Red, what happened last time?
Well, it's with Blake meeting up with his potential new werewolves as he's dealing with trying to regrow with the pack after their losses they had, and it didn't really go the greatest. His speech and trying to persuade him to join his side didn't really go for well for the wolves, so they seem to be very skeptical about the whole thing. And honestly, at the end of it, he only had, I believe, two wolves that came by. Two young and inexperienced wolves against all the territory he has and what he needs to try to rebuild back up. As well as talking with Darius, because his other task from Abaddon was attacking the Winter Fae. And Darius offered a solution that works best for Blake, especially since his circumstances don't really allow for more muscle. As he said, give him time, and you can threaten them to leave or else, because their whole little portal thing could be undone. Give him like a month or so, and that should be enough to get them out of there. Because they're not willing to like die for the city, you know, and nothing else. It's not worth the trouble, especially since they have their own plans building up in the background. And it seemed that Blake agreed. As eventually he would go to the Fae and talk with a representative of theirs to let them know that they need to leave or else. And while they seemed to be very unhappy, and well, of course Blake was one on have to give them their name, they took their leave, and it seemed to worked out pretty well. Celine, on the other hand, decided to now her build up with the whole Carmilla thing. She pivoted to going to the Hunters, especially with Horvath, the hunter she had a connection with, to sit down and explain the Carmilla situation. Even though she was put in a bit of a corner, he demanded more answers. And while yes, Carmilla is a dangerous old vampire, you want to know how and where and everything. She acquiesced. And once he heard about the Vlad thing, he said he'd be willing to help, but in return, he demands that either she must set up a meeting or she gives the news to Vlad that no more of his people or resources are allowed in the city. You can pull them out, or I'll come find them regardless. Very bold declaration, nothing else. As Celine would do so, Vlad wasn't too happy about it, but he said do anything possible to get rid of Carmilla, and that seems to be the price he's willing to pay to ensure she doesn't have a foothold in the city. Rowan, on the other hand, visiting Abaddon's place, came across, surprisingly enough, a Fae by the name of Victor, who seemed to be in a sad sort. As they talked and sat and mentioned about his daughter that he hasn't seen, the family he hasn't seen for quite some time, and she gave some advice. They mentioned, things aren't too late, as well as the fact that even they've made some bad choices as well. And there's still hope for that. And mentioning Darius, who might be the person he needs to speak with, which he seemed to take in account as well, as a little bit of more hope is given to Victor. And there's a chance they can always reach out to you, basically. As well as the fact that Rowan, as she left with that and situations were being played in the background, Rowan also got a text from Darius. Apparently the chance to have this meeting with Darcy is happening. And, Rowan went and they had the confrontation as Darcy took in Rowan's new form and the choices that they've made, and Rowan sat down and ripped her heart out all over again for both of them, mentioning that she's made a choice to stick with Abaddon, that she's sorry, and that this can't really go on. Darcy, of course, was pretty much upset as the conversation continued, and even worse, as Rowan got up and was going to leave, though she stopped at the steps as Darius gave her a bit of advice, reminded her that if you still want this, maybe you shouldn't rip her to pieces, or rip her heart to pieces, essentially. And Rowan, persuaded by Darius's words, turned back around to chat with, maybe see if there's still a chance here, as she came upon Darcy sobbing, of course, heartbroken, confused, and still asking why does she keep doing this, essentially, as she begged forgiveness and tried to explain she knows she can't have her cake and eat it too, but she's trying. And Darius gave them a solution, a way that maybe they can thread the needle, that they can still be together while also trying to make sure their respective careers and the people they've aligned themselves with don't get in the way of that. And they seem to be willing to try. Alex said, as time goes on, I think a month or two passes, as Rowan hits the streets, of course, getting more mortal information, news about the Fae and Summer Court's movements as well. I believe Celine tried to establish a chance to make a larger fraction, though it didn't really go well for her, as Sophia seemed unwilling to see that happen. Though there's still the chance of it, as if they work together in some type of task, I believe. And gain an ally in her. While she didn't gain any fraction, she did get an ally. And Blake putting out the word to hopefully try to gain more werewolves, though sadly it didn't turn out well either, as apparently another pack, a city over, I believe, heard the news about the new real estate up and decided to move in. And while they're not going to fight Blake or take out his small pack for what they have, they're going to muscle in and take over some territory. You don't get in our way, we make sure you don't go underfoot, essentially, as seems that he has competition now to worry about. And I believe Celine went off to go check on Zoe, make sure that little seed that she planted seems to be growing, as Zoe's frustration expands with Darius. Apparently Darius had called her stupid and she just really wanted to kill him. Whether Celine was there or not, basically. Or Celine would be happy about it or not. And demanded that Celine talk to Darius because he needs to get the fuck off her back. And Celine tried to calm her down and placate this because, maybe there's a chance here and she's going to try her damnedest. As, Celine went to go to fix the situation as Zoe demanded. And sat down to talk with Darius, asking him about what is he trying to do here with Zoe? What is his end goal here? He seemed to be wanting to help her, saying that the road that she's on isn't a good one, and this is not, if she wants to be happy and healthy and everything like that, there's things that need to be done. Celine probed more, trying to figure out exactly why he's doing this, essentially, as Darius seemed to be adamant. And for Celine, an answer was made there, and a decision finally was put in place for her with this regard. As I think that's their last, with Celine apologizing a bit, but Darius probably not realizing why, as that was the last conversation they had. Yeah, that was the last scene.
Because you put in the seed doesn't mean you need to stop worrying. You need to make sure it's watered and taken care of.
She knows.
I've already canonized your victory. You cannot disappoint me now.
I'm not. I'm just saying, Celine is just like, man, I should feel bad about this, but I think it's going to be for the best for everyone involved, honestly. I get the wedding bells ready.
Sorry, I'm just. I need to post 2 pictures for Mac. I need to post Ivona and Margot, and you can tell me which one.
How is Margot muscle mommy, Mac? What
I am not. I wish I was her.
Listen, I thought you were talking philosophically.
No.
No. What?
No.
That's not. How could you possibly be philosophically? What does that even mean?
Mac, go to sleep. Philosophically, my ass.
I thought you meant as an active mother who tries to worry about her children.
Go to sleep.
No,
Mac.
I was never that.
That's
Moving on.
not what that means.
Moving on. Okay. At least we cleared that argument. But yeah, I think we basically did leave on that. And it's been 3 months, not 1.
Okay, 3 months. Okay, had passed.
God damn, my job just killing it. Holy shit.
I need to quote that. I'm quoting.
So yeah, I mean, Celine, do you have any plans after this discussion?
Well, she did her thing with Horvath. She did the thing with Zoe, so her gardens continue to grow. There's not much else Celine has to do right now that I can think of. Trying to keep her relationships well with Sophia, I guess, but
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
she'll
you could
wait.
establish a meeting, and instead of all of this matchmaking, you could do some politics if you want.
Wow, Grant, I feel like you're starting to say something to me right there. Right?
No, this is just merely a challenge. I think we can do more matchmaking.
She will, like I said, she will go if I don't know if Sophia requires anything of her, but right now, basically.
Well, no, but
Mm.
setting up a meeting and talk. You think you want stuff? I don't think she wants stuff.
Yeah.
She might be able to get stuff out of you in exchange, but she has a lot of cards in her hand regarding the city influence structure.
I'll go say hello. Celine doesn't have much going on right now.
It's gonna take you a bit of time to set up a meeting, but you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
As what? Why not? You meet probably with her in like her small time bar.
Mm.
As you sit down, she greets you with a polite smile. I'm honored you want to talk with me. How can I help you, Celine?
Oh, we both know the honor's really mine, if nothing else, Sophia. And we are hopefully going to be allies in this. I wanted to know if there's anything I can do to help you.
I did notice you tried to make some moves recently and have, I suppose, no hard feelings, but it's just so many people now trying to take increasingly more pieces of an ever so smaller pie.
No, I understand at the very least.
We
I
have
see.
summer moving in, we have werewolf packs, we have probably some other opportunists lurking around the corners, we have the wizard. Now you, it's just, we need to trim some of this fat, I think.
There is a lot of players nowadays. At the very least, is there a new wizard in town, or has there been more wizards making moves?
Oh, it's merely Andre seems to be getting more and more bold with his deals, but
Hmm.
I don't know what changed for him recently. To be a bit more isolationist than this.
I'm sure it's nothing. At the very least, that's an interesting take. And werewolves, I thought we had that all handled, or something happened while I looked away for a moment.
Well, do you remember Blake, the one you talked to me about?
Yes, I'm aware.
Well, I think he kind of failed to convince people to. Yeah, he failed and succeeded, suppose?
Hmm.
He got people to come into the city. It's just that it's a new pack.
Ah,
Now I have to deal with that as well.
seems they had saw a chance for new territory and moved in quickly.
Their leader, the Sivona chick, she is ambitious, violent, dangerous.
I see. Well, it seems you have all manner of things on your plate. Is there some way you would wish me to help you with the workload?
Tell me, Saline, what do you want to act in the city? What's your plan? What's your dream? What's your ambition?
Oh, well, my dream has changed a bit, I will be honest. I've added more ambitions. But I believe protection and territory of my own is something anyone would want for themselves. As you said, new movers are coming in, new players, and that means the board's always changing. I'd rather be able to keep my place there and not lose too much.
Are you interested in specific areas of the city? Specific businesses?
I think it's my blood's a little too dull for the club phase. There's like the art district, and let me go check the map actually before I say.
Oh, shoot. How about like the moon if you say art district?
No, it's I meant to say club district because that's what the one I was mentioning. Give
I
me
will
one second.
shoot you from Mars
There are no
now.
districts.
I will nuke
Wait,
the planet, Red, if you say club district.
The reason why I said because that's the talking about the area that Zoe took over from Sophia. Sorry.
So that's the city. There's like a square, like the city center, basically.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of businesses. There's clubs. There's restaurants. There are like stores.
Yeah.
It's like coffee shops. There's a lot of things. There's even in fact that has like like a music college as well. As you can imagine, cities are very diverse. So
I want to ask because I'm trying to remember which place was close by where I have the garden at, basically. I don't know what it is.
oh, I see. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, check the thing. Yeah, I mean, you could aim if you want for some of the clubs and businesses around your around the shooting star and like the botanic garden.
Yeah.
Now,
'Cause I don't
those
think
are
that.
like high value premium businesses that bring in a lot of money.
Ooh, I see as well. 'Cause I don't
You,
think
you can still make a claim for them. It's just that she's probably gonna ask for something in return equally.
And I also feel like the club is not the clubs. I meant to say the college is like a big investment as
The
well.
college is further down, so a bit away. But yeah, there's a lot of businesses. I mean, if you want to aim for the more educational ones,
Yeah, I guess it'll be where this is gonna sound weird. Where the youth, the youngest would be at basically people or the
well,
most with the
when
most
you
people.
say youth, do you mean like college kids?
Yeah, it's mostly those at the
That's
very
in a
least.
completely different area of town. If you want to
Yeah.
target the sort of the college demographic, there is in fact like a large area where, because it's also close to the university and several major dorms, it's filled with a lot of businesses that tend to cater towards students. So that means cheap food and drink, affordable bars and clubs, and also decently priced rent, I guess, for different apartments.
Gotcha. Okay, I should probably stick with places around her area, just to be able to keep an eye on that without too much trouble, if that's possible. So yeah.
Let me post it. Let me make a screenshot so you can see kind of where
Sure.
everything is. So this would be like the student area. No. Whereas garden is, I'll do universities.
Okay, I see. No, thank you. I was looking for that symbol.
You want to take over the university.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you trying to gain? I can give you suggestions.
Yeah, I got you. Celine definitely wants to have a place to keep her, because her main protection always will be the garden. But I think Celine wants a place with more humans in it at the very least, because she does like humans. And
But like, what type
honestly,
of humans? Humans are literally everywhere.
yeah, it made sense because it'll be easy to keep an eye on. Because I think she also has a bit of guilt with the whole thing with Carmilla, where she was just like, "Yeah, I'll keep out your young victims in that place." So this is her wanting to keep an eye on that in that regard to ensure there won't be any any other more deaths of the young. That seem to be happening a lot right now, at the very least, when it comes to everyone keep killing the kids. Honestly, if that makes
And
sense.
it was just one vampire who did this.
That's also true.
But if you wanna hang around the youth, that would be where the students party.
I also think Celine just wants to keep herself busy because there's not much else she can do right now. So.
But Carmilla was targeting like way younger individuals. So like, if you wanna go after protecting kids, you could try and expand your influence into middle schools, high schools, that sort of environment.
Gotcha.
But again, those are like spread around town. So if you want to
Okay.
protect the kids, we can work on that.
Okay. I think for time's sake, because I have an idea what I want to do with Celine at the end, so I'm not sure if that'll work out. I'm gonna just stick with business around her most important prize right now, her garden. That's all right, Grun.
We have time, right? There's no deadline we have to meet.
It's more like I don't know if Celine wants to stay in the city once things are over type of situation.
What are you waiting for it to be over?
No, I mean like, hey, after the thing with Zoe's saving Jay, will Celine stay in the city afterwards? Is a question I still have to decide if that's going to be the case with her or not.
So are you looking to like you can prop up a proxy if you want?
That's a possibility as well.
Start preparing a sort of protege.
Okay, yeah. Would I be able to ask Sophia that, or would I
Yeah.
just have to? Okay.
You can talk with Sophia about it. Listen, if you think
Mm.
Sophia is good for a custodian of the city, just work with her and hand her reins and help her
No,
solidify power.
no,
No,
I
why
don't
not?
do that.
Why
I
not?
don't think I'll do that. No, thank you.
Why not? I see how it
Um,
is.
I don't think she has not earned that spot for me. I'm so sorry, Grant. She is not. What's it called? Jesus. Oh, I didn't realize the. Okay. Can I? Can I ask for the gelato place because the ice cream shop and
Yeah.
because I thought the winter court had pulled back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I can get that ice cream shop and then places around because I there's the bunker as well I saw as well, but I don't think I think someone else owns that.
Yeah, it will be in one of the clubs.
Yeah,
But yeah, you can press those claims.
yeah, I
Talk
would
with
ask for that.
Sophia.
Yeah.
You mentioned these like two. Why the bunker though?
Oh, sorry. It was just like a on the list of places that exist in the Citadel. I was just like, oh, I never actually seen that until now.
Hmm.
And I don't want Celine to grab too much at once because I'm not sure she can handle a club.
Um, well, I mean, bring up these ideas. Yeah, it's like said you're not down for clubs, Celine.
If nothing else, I think a bar will be a simple enough place. Something a little too fast loose is well, it wouldn't hurt to try.
Well, I'm willing to give you the ice cream shop area.
Oh, I appreciate that, but I understand nothing's for free, right?
Of course. Just the problems of the wolves to be settled.
And how would you like it settled?
Well, I think I'm tired of upstarts moving in and throwing their weight around. I thought Blake could have them handled, but well, I think he's just like that. Get rid of the wolves, subjugate them, make them comply. I don't care. Why not? And bring you into the seat at the table you once used to have.
Very well then. Well, wonderful offer, and I would have nothing but to comply in that. I will get it done.
Lovely. As yeah,
And
if you're not bullshitting her,
Mhm.
like you can she owes you a debt for this.
She is not. She also gave me a lot of information. I didn't realize Andre was making some moves in the background. I'm sure it's all fine though.
Yeah. So you can add a debt with Sophia. Like she owes you if you're willing to deal with the wolf problem, even if she brings you
Gotcha.
on the council fully.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then apparently there's some wolves she has to talk to. She's gonna start with the one she knows before she goes to the one she doesn't.
Well, which one do you want to start with? Which one is the one you trust?
Trust is a strong word, Grunt. That's a strong word, Grunt.
Set
Um,
up a meeting.
Yeah, she'll talk with Blake.
I always have time for Celine.
Gonna meet at a coffee shop again.
Of course.
Hello, Blake. How are you?
You know, I'm alive, so that's a win. How have you been?
It's always a win. I'm well, though a bit concerned. I've heard some troubling news recently.
What have you heard?
Apparently, there's another wolf in town, and they're not part of your pack, I believe. Muscling in your territory and all that.
I already have plans to take care of the situation. I was going to contact you anyways to see if you could set up a meeting with Abaddon.
Oh? What's your scheme here now, Blake?
To show them the power of cooperation.
I hope it doesn't come off as rude, but for what I've been hearing, that's not a common thing werewolves do without smashing a couple of heads.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to change things in this city because this cycle of violence smashing people's heads in, the fact that you're coming to me and I didn't tell you about it means other people are talking. How are those people reacting, Celine?
Annoyance, wariness, not a fan of more. Well, let's just say it's getting a bit crowded.
What happens in this game when people get annoyed?
Oh, Blake, we already know that. I think you already had a hand in that.
Yeah. So this whole cycle of violence and annoyance doesn't really get my people anywhere, really.
That's also true.
Now,
Well?
if you'd like to contribute and help get rid of this problem, I would always accept it, but I would never force your hand. I know you're a very busy woman.
I came to you, didn't I?
I just thought you enjoyed our little chats.
I've already told you, Blake. You have to continue to be useful at the very least, which is always a bonus. Well, I can set you up with a meeting in Abaddon and see how this plays out. My skills lie in talking and negotiation. I'm not good with the smashing heads part. Not anymore.
Why do it yourself when you have others to do it for you?
Why do it yourself when you have others who can do it better?
Well, I'm young and spry enough to have to assert certain lessons sometimes.
Well, I will respect how it works for your werewolves at the very least. I'll set you up with a meeting and see what Abaddon commands.
Mm-hmm. Please get back to me with a meeting time.
I will.
I have one or two more people I would like to talk to before I start making moves. So if you don't
How?
mind.
I do have one question though. It seems that there has not been much in the way of rebuilding your pack. How do you need some assistance in that regard?
He sits back down. What did you have in mind, Celine?
Well, at the very least, I only know a bit about werewolves, but I understand that they need more than a pretty speech to get them, well, to gather their loyalty, yes?
You're correct. Action tends to speak louder than words.
Now, there's a couple things I assume you already planned for yourself, whether you wish to have this new set of wolves join you, or if you intend to run them out, or worse. I won't ask the details. There's an opportunity for that, but I know I have ties, connections. I can put the word out and see if I can find, discreetly, of course. Don't want to ruin your reputation here. See if I can find anyone that could be of use for you for your pack. Would that be amenable?
can I add can I add something else to it?
Of course.
They can't be formally working with your colleague. I don't know what Abaddon is to you. I don't think.
Well,
I don't assume she has a contract with you, but
very well then. I can understand your hesitation. It's smart that you put that in the closet at the very least.
well, after the series thing, I need to be a little bit more on my toes. Can't have wolves in the sheep's den.
Very well. Like I said, I'll discreetly put the word out, and it's up to you to say yes or no regardless. I assume that's how it works.
If I believe in coexistence, refusing help is not way to go.
Very well.
And there has to be established a level of trust, you know. But thank you for your assistance. I have one more person I would like to talk to. Have a wonderful day.
He nods.
I think I would appreciate if you got closer to the microphone.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. I'm
Would-
trying to find the perfect distance where it doesn't sound like I'm breathing into it.
Which person are you gonna look and want to talk to next after this meeting?
Who else but the best boy Darius, who's been nothing but helpful,
I'm glad you're
and
coming
also
around.
and also understands what Blake is trying to do.
Yeah, you have a shared goal. As yeah, I mean, you can drop by the tower. As gonna welcome you in. Put down some snacks. Well, I heard things aren't the best, so
No, you saw the meeting. You know how it went. I was
yeah, I didn't expect though for a rival pack to move in.
No, I wasn't expecting it either, but it is what it is. You know, throne is empty and somebody's going to try to fill it. All these pretenders coming in.
Yeah.
But I was hoping you would be able to help me with it. You seem like a knowledgeable and or smart individual who can help me out with this situation.
I try. What do you wanna do?
Well, I would like to try to keep. If the two packs go to blows, it's only going to weaken the werewolf standing, and some third party's going to come in and wipe us out anyways. I would like to try to keep this as low casualty as possible, even convince them of integration with us, but I don't think that's the case. Not without sufficient force.
I mean, are you confident in your talking abilities? You could just try and negotiate with the other leader.
I will try to negotiate, but I think I would rather have a force backing it than empty words and promises. Show real tangible results of cooperation. We did together through teamwork take out the chase out the Winter Fae, which were a dominant force in the city.
Yeah.
And that should be proof, but I know others will doubt. But what are your thoughts?
Problem is, I don't know this one. I don't know what their leader, how they are, what they want, other than it's the obvious.
Grunt.
Yeah.
You tell me no, but is there anything I would know about them just from being in
You
the area?
haven't talked with her directly, so other than the fact that they've been moving in and taking turf, don't really know any more like specific details.
Okay, so to my knowledge, she doesn't have a reputation. She's just a person who showed up and started just like Data
Yeah,
Soldier.
I mean, she seems rather assertive, forceful with how she moved in, but at this point, there's no one really to contest her.
I don't know much about her either, if I'm being honest. I could see if I could put out some feelers, see if anybody knows anything about her.
Be
But
honest,
I
think it's time. I think it's time you decided a bit on some of your other allies, I guess.
I have
Well,
your acquaintance. Sorry. what
yeah,
were you
no.
going to say?
I said I used the word allies. I was figure of speech. What's your deal with the vampires? Because at this point they are the most influential. You want to work with them, or
Yes.
do you want to kick them out?
Hmm.
Try to also work with the hunters if you think you want the city to be clean.
As much as I would like to carve out territory, and I don't really trust the vampires that much, I think Sophia would turn against me the first chance I show any sign of weakness. I have no means to deal with them directly at the moment. I would rather
Sophia
install some.
is the oldest one in the city. Anyone, I'll be honest, it seems to play the politics game. I'm sorry, I think, to say that 99% of people will turn on you the moment they think you are weak.
That's why I'm trying to build strength through the pack and through cooperation. But yeah, changing things up in the city wouldn't be the worst thing. If it means if they're worried about backstabbing and betrayal. I just know the city's a little bit of a powder keg right now.
Which is why I think you should figure out whom amongst the existing people you would rather work with, because you could work with the new people. Maybe hopefully build something new, but I mean, don't really know anything about them. Unexpected variables, wild cards. You could work with previous people that were in power before the whole Zoe debacle. And Sophia, she is ruthless. But as far as my understanding goes, will prefer stability. And if you don't, you're not. Depends. How ambitious are you, Blake? Do you want to rule? Do you want to sit upon the throne with a golden crown on your head? Then probably Sophia is not your person. If you want stability and cooperation, because fighting tends to only make losers out of all of us, I don't think Sophia is such a bad choice, even though she is still a vampire, so scheming is kind of what they do.
I guess working with Sophia is not the worst thing for now until somebody better presents themselves. I have, in my short time here, met some, I won't say like-minded, but more even-tempered individuals.
I think if you manage to usurp Ivona, build up your pack properly, you could easily be an equal partner. Now, I don't know how Summer Fae will take to you, and I don't know what demons that may still linger around the city, but the Bazaar has never been a unified faction, so I don't think
For
they
now,
pose a big issue to you.
I need to fix things around the house before I worry about outside forces. But I see the wisdom in your words. I will, once I get my house in order, try to cooperate with Sophia and try to keep things stable.
Yeah, if you want to show the other wolves the power of cooperation, it's also be a useful messenger in that.
I see the wisdom in it. I'm not sure I trust Sophia with aiding me at this current moment.
You shouldn't trust her, but if you sell it to her, if you show to her that you are still the best bet, I don't think she wants the outsiders, and I don't think she likes ambitious people. You know, I think her last fight with Zoe kind of proved that she can't really handle the more fast and loose style of aggressive politics.
Fair enough. For now, the town needs stability. Any ambitious action should be set aside for the betterment of the whole. But alright. I was going to ask if you would be willing to come with, but I wouldn't want to put you in danger. You don't look like the if things go bad a fighting type.
Not. But the problem is even worse than that. Not that involved with local politics, other than giving you some basic advice. I'm around every now and then, but I do travel a lot, and it seems that soon I will be traveling even more.
Basic advice is better than no advice.
Puts an arm on your shoulder and says, "You can always come and ask for that." But as for political clout and power, I have basically almost nothing in this, other than some, well, little fading reputation.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for your advice. I guess there's one other person I gotta meet.
Take care and good luck.
You as well.
Your last person.
Sophia.
Yeah. As you set up a meeting with her, probably gonna meet you just in front of the opera around midnight. Streets are sort of quiet. Few people walking about. Sits down on a bench next to you. Well, been a bit.
You look lovely as always.
Flattery still get you anywhere with me.
Well, that's fine. I'm not much of a flatterer anyways. As you know, as I'm sure you know, some ambitious upstarts decide to start strolling into town, and that doesn't really bode well for either one of us. New blood, powder keg of a city, not a really good combination. So, I come to you to try to solve this problem swiftly and immediately, and I would like your help to show them the benefits of cooperation.
Why don't you give me a persuade an NPC?
I'm so fucked. I'm so fucked. I'm sorry, guys. I have to do them. I gotta turn the back here.
Fine, I believe in you.
I don't believe in me. I have -1 heart, Grunt. Yeah.
Looks at you and says, "You're in a strong position, Blake, and that's quite the investment." I'm willing to cut you a deal. Things are changing indeed in the city, and I've made mistakes in the past. I was too soft, too defensive, too slow. I've realized that sometimes an iron fist is necessary. You could be that iron fist.
Uh, Grunt, before I just say something stupid, she basically asked me to work under her.
More or less. It's not like you work under her, but you will be the fucking boogeyman of the town.
That doesn't sound great for cooperation and peaceful thing. It sounds like it's going to isolate me further.
I mean, listen. It sounds like people who are on your side will be happy you're on their side, and everyone else will be like, I don't want to fuck with this guy.
He bites his jaw, looks off to the distance, looks back. All right, Sophia. All right. I think we can come to an agreement for the sake of peaceful coexistence.
Peaceful coexistence is all nice, but you need someone to be able to enforce that in case outsiders decide to trample into our land.
Of course.
So, you work with me on this? I'll make sure you get a seat at the table. One that's very close to me.
Of course.
Now, I like you, Blake. I think we can cover for each other's weaknesses. The question is, are you up for that, though? You seem to want to be in a position of leadership, but to understand that such positions demand hard choices of those in charge.
I understand that I am new to this, and I understand that the hard choices are going to be needed to be made. And I think that working with you is the best route going forward, as your experience in politics in the city is invaluable. And I'll be honest, I spend most of my time as a bruiser anyways. So yes, it will be a wonderful partnership.
We'll make a wonderful sheriff for this town. Being peace and making sure people don't step out of line. Now I'll help you with the more subtle aspects of the politics. Is that a deal you're willing to make?
Of course. Of course. He'll extend a hand.
Gonna shake your hand. Then I will provide you the information you need, and merely have to go and make an example of this Ivona. Her corpse should suffice.
Of course.
Make sure that hunters will stay out of your way, as long as you don't create civilian casualties.
If I have it my way, it should be swift and quick.
That's what I like to hear. Let me know if you need anything.
Of course.
I shall smile, get up, and take her leave.
Yep. I guess Blake will do the leave and just wait for the call to meet with Abaddon.
Well, what's Rowan up to?
What is Rowan going? What is Rowan up to?
The last thing I think you did during the faction turn was asking about Mark and learning a bit
Yeah,
about
told
the
you.
summer court problems with the vampires.
Yeah.
Any of those angles you still wish to pursue, or
Yeah, I think the first thing I'll do is I'll just pass info along to Celine about the summer court shit, but like Rowan's thing she's actually going to deal with. She's going to go talk to Mark.
I mean, he would meet up with you as the moment he kind of like sees you, there's like a moment like, holy shit, Rowan, it's been so long, as he like just gives you a hug like nothing has changed about you.
Rowan will return it. It's been an awfully long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, still I see you still look good. I don't think you like get fat. I don't even, that's the thing.
I think I'm a little taller now. Comes with changing species, I guess.
Changed what?
I'm a demon now.
I kind of looks a bit surprised. Couldn't tell.
How have you been holding up?
I think I have a better handle of. He gestures towards its head. This. I'm doing much better.
I'm glad to hear that. I heard a few things and made me a little concerned.
Well. Okay, what did you hear? Come on, let me hear the gossip.
Oh, lots of drinking mostly. Chronic drinking. Now listen, I don't judge. I'm friends with Elliot. If you've ever met him, I don't judge.
Yeah,
But still.
listen. Old habits die hard, I guess.
Have the vision still been troubling, Ben?
Not. It's weird. Like I said, I managed to get a better handle of it. It's not like I realize I don't think I see visions. I just think I see things how they are. It's a very weird way of phrasing it, but can't really rack my brain around it.
It's interesting. Because you already see through glamour like everyone else, but
Yeah, but like for example, you said you're like what, a demon now?
that I am.
I don't see any. You look the same to me. I mean, there's like not the exact same, but there's no big physical changes.
That's an. Huh. You see the reality of a person even underneath obfuscation or changes. That's the interesting thing.
Times I guess it's I would rather not see it, but likely no more freaks of nature walking by.
Well, that's good. City's had a bit too much excitement before. It's had enough excitement for a while, at least.
How have you been keeping other than changing species?
It, won't lie, it was pretty rough there for a while. I did realize that a lot of the things I did were things I was very happy with. But I've either got most of those squared away now, or in the process of getting them squared away, and feel like I'm finally on the right track.
That's good.
Yeah, as I was gonna ask him like how he's doing, like outside of like the vision. She doesn't. She's like going to ask him like the other things going on in his life, if he has anything.
Well, apparently he has taken a couple of hobbies. He like ah, listen, I have been trying to quit, trying to like go sober, you know, and um met a guy and he gave me a couple of like advice for it. Apparently physical activity. I've started working out a bit, picked up, suggested I do combat sports. I found that suggestion weird, but I mean it's a dangerous world out there, so why not?
Not a bad thing to learn.
But yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard. I haven't had a drink in a week, and it's already trying to keep myself busy, you know.
I can understand. Yeah. If you ever need any help, just reach out to me. Let me know.
Will do. Appreciate it.
But yeah, I think that's about where the conversation would probably start to peter off. Or I just wanted to check in.
Yeah, physically,
Next.
like he does look a bit, better in shape. Like his gaze is a bit more focused. There are some small improvements, some small visible improvements. And at the very least, not freaking out every time he sees a demon might be good. Because he does seem sober right now. So who the fuck knows what he sees you as?
Well, mentioned that I look similar to what I looked like before, which is interesting.
Yeah, but who knows what you looked like before to him, though? That's the real question.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Rowan's gonna ask that. Like, Rowan would actually ask that. Like, what? By the way, before I go, what do I look like to you?
As he is taken a bit aback by the question, but then will proceed to describe you. And as he's talking, just kind of describes what you look right now. As it's a weird effect. That sort of almost like the air shimmers as he like talks.
Yeah. Rowan's going to kind of look at him. Has that always happened? The air shimmering thing?
What? He looks
You
confused.
when you spoke, you just described me as I currently look right now.
That's
And
how you
there was
always
this
looked.
I didn't have horns before I became a demon.
No, I'm pretty sure you did.
I like to look in her phone and see if she can't find an old photo of herself.
Yeah, you can. As you find an old photo and you show it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, see, I told you." Like, they're right. She kind of like points at the picture, points at you. Like I said, I think it's just the confidence that makes you look a bit different. He takes a look at the phone again, a bit more attentive as he like sees your reaction is a bit weird, freaking him out. He's like, I guess your nose was slightly smaller. I don't. This conversation is starting to freak me out.
Let's not worry about it too much. And well, let's. I know a person I can ask if about this.
I would rather. I was told that my condition is highly unique and many supernaturals would kill me for it. So be careful.
I can understand the fear, but well, honestly, that is correct. I think most supernaturals would not be friendly about this, but
Yeah, that's why
Darius is a.
Oh, you know Darius too? Yeah, that one
That's
freaks me out.
actually.
I've
Can imagine.
I've never seen a walking golem before. That's a it's a weird one to me.
It's an golem. I know he's recently become an angel.
No, like his angel, you say? Oh,
I'm told he made a deal.
I mean, he is
And then-
glowing inside, but I thought it was just like the.
But you've met him.
Yes. He's the one told me that I should exercise and try and quit drinking.
Ah, you're right. You should listen to him.
Listen,
I'll-
I didn't. He kind of creeped me out at first, but I've seen weirder things. Flesh peeling off your face. At least there was no blood, right?
Blood is so terrible to clean up. Stains everywhere. But for what it's worth, I think genuinely Darius is one of the few people in this world you can trust to do the right thing. He's helped me out. He's helped me out a lot, even when I don't think anyone would blame him for telling me to go choke and die.
I'll be honest, he struck me as the very sad kind of individual. He seemed like he carried a lot of guilt, emotional baggage. Maybe I'm not very good at this, but yeah, at least
He does.
seemed to have good intentions.
He does, Mark. We both do. But, well, he resolved to do it first, and he helped me along the way of using that guilt to become a better person. Better than wallowing in it.
Like nods. Now, I don't think he's gonna listen if I tell him this, because well, no, the whole seeing things. Just tell him it's okay to cry sometimes.
I'll pass the message along to him. Don't worry.
He always like has those like glassy eyes, you know. Like
Sorry, what was the end of that sentence?
he said, like he always does have like the glassy eyes, like he's holding back tears. That's why he's like, you know what? It's fine. You can just cry. You don't have to keep it in all the time. Just this is not what Darius looks like. This is being weird.
Rowan will nod. With that, she'll say, no. Take care of yourself, Mark, and I mean it. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need something from me. I know this world usually operates on debts and all that fucking bullshit. With me, you don't have to worry about that.
Like smiles and nods.
And yeah, once she leaves and is in the car, she's gonna call Darius.
Pick up. What's up, Roman?
It's interesting. I talked to an old friend I haven't spoken to in a while. Mark, you've met him.
We've had a few conversations.
Yes, he's apparently under the idea that I've always looked like a demon, which is an interesting thing. And he said you look like a golem.
Well, I am not exactly sure because the hunters are very protective of him, which I think for good reason. But I believe he does have, I think he is some sort of oracle. I put hazard, some sort of Seer?
Does he see the? What does he? If I had to guess, because he now views me as always being a demon, does he see the nature of a soul? If I had to throw out something,
A possible hypothesis. Would fit with a lot of things.
so it's a strange thing because even when I showed him an old photo, he didn't see any difference, and there was a strange like vibration in the air when he spoke, when he was describing what I looked like to him.
That's interesting. Maybe it's still not a seer. Maybe something else. There's a quick question. Was he like drunk or smelled of alcohol when you met him?
No, he was sober. Thank you for helping him, by the way. It's good to see him in better states. He was in a bad way when I found him, and well, unfortunately for him, he had the bad time to gain his abilities when interesting things were happening one after another.
I barely did anything. I just I've been trying to quit smoking. That never sticks. So maybe I try to give him some of the advice I've heard. Glad that helped.
And Darius told me one other thing, and that's why I'm going to. If you ever need a shoulder to cry on, I'm always here.
I appreciate that. Very specific statement, I guess. Thanks.
He said that wanted me to pass the message along that it's all right to cry. Apparently, to him, you look very sad.
Oh. Oh well, I'm not. Actually, like I've been doing a lot of good recently. Feel quite good about myself.
You have been. You have been helping a lot of people.
Yeah, see, why would I be sad?
Sounds like you're trying to rationalize what is an inherently irrational emotional response to things that have happened.
I have no response to that.
I'm not gonna force you, but listen, I think after you've spent enough time hearing me groan and cry, if you ever want somebody to be there to listen to you, don't hesitate to give me a call.
Thanks, Ron. I will.
See you around.
See you. Yeah. Who wants to make the next? A double back around. Unless there's something you want to do right now, Rowan.
Not really. Not really. I might I might go talk to Sophia about the summer favor. That's not like an immediate thing. Like we need to handle.
So, Celine, what's your next ploy?
Well, one, get us up that meeting with Abaddon and Blake, I assume as well.
That's what you want to do. That's easily achieved.
And I don't know if it will happen immediately or take some time, but Celine will try to be discreet for Blake's sake, if nothing else, to try to see if she can help him find some wolves to be useful for his pack. I know this will be impossible for this one, but she's also using it as a way to see if any of Carmilla's little I'm not gonna try to butcher the word again, Grant.
Yeah.
Could possibly be well, she can possibly find them, but like that's just a if
Now,
that's
the
isn't happening,
question
she's
is,
fine.
Celine, now the real question for that is,
Mm.
well, not connected to Abaddon.
Ooh, yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Who are you gonna side here with, Celine?
Well, always with Abaddon, but I need to make sure it's not going to be too obvious if nothing else. And like I said, he has the final say if he wants those people to join him or not, or if he finds out, of course.
Well, it's gonna be a rather long and involved process.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know if Carmilla's agents have left the city entirely, or if she just took them out.
Yeah, no, they
left
kind
with
of
her.
like bounced because the
Yeah.
hunters fucking in house.
Yeah, I don't know if she would have burned any of those. Well, they're too useful. Actually, doesn't make any sense to get rid of those.
Um. What? Problem is there's not like the wolf situation in the city. There's two packs. They're either with Blake or they're either with Ivona. There's no neutral werewolves. Now you can look outside of the city, but that's gonna
Yeah.
take time. Like that's not a if that's like the only thing, the meeting setup is a bit more doable.
Yeah, I kind of already assume as well that Selena's also told Darius the fact that both his dad and his son have left the city for their own little impromptu vacation, also
Yeah.
to heal in their own way. Yeah.
You know what? Since Rowan did have that conversation with Darius, you would be getting a call sometime later from Darius himself.
Yeah, should we pick up?
Hey, do you think you can help me out with a favor?
Of course. What's going on?
Can you orchestrate someone going into Inferno, looking at Zoe, have him not freak out at whatever he's gonna see, and then take him out so that nobody notices, including Leon?
Exactly how bad this is going to be for this person you're bringing into Inferno.
I
Is
have
it
no
someone-
idea. It could be nothing. It could be the most horrible experience.
Is that a good idea, or is this a curiosity thing you're doing here, Darius?
I need
And does-
to know something. I wouldn't
Uh-huh.
ask if this isn't just curiosity.
Very well, then. Is this person aware of what's going to
I
happen?
will be talking with him. Not gonna rope him in.
Hmm.
But I think he's my silver bullet.
Your silver bullet. Grim words, Darius, but I'll play along for now.
It's not. Don't worry about it. Not. I promise that this won't blow up in anyone's face. Hopefully, except mine.
Very well, Darius. Like I said, I'll help. I'll play along.
I'll reach out when, if I mean, I hope he is, but I'll reach out if things go through with him.
Mm-hmm. Darius, are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, as okay as anyone can be. I might.
We have.
I am playing with fire, Celine, but
When are we
um,
not playing with fire?
ooh, um, well, then I'm about to jump into a volcano, and I'm praying to God it's inactive.
Ah, very well, Darius. Like I always say, if you need some help, you can always ask, and I'm here gonna help.
Gonna hate me for this, but
Dangerous one, dangerous game you're playing here.
like I said, jumping into the volcano.
Very well then. Like I said, I'll play dumb. I'll see how the set turns out.
Disregard whatever that man says.
Very well.
Well, I mean, listen, if you take this man into, like, if you escort him into the club and just have him look at Zoe casually, nobody's really gonna question you and just be like, Dion doesn't give a shit about your business. You're kind of vetted through.
Yeah. I'll hold this man's hand as we walk through the Inferno Club to make sure he doesn't do nothing bad happens to this guy.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can probably do that before the meeting between the two of them. For the meeting between Abdon and Blake.
Yeah,
As
She
a day later, you meet up with Darius and this older man.
Mhm.
Looks kind of dressed in ragged clothes. He kind of has a moment where he just kind of stares at you for a bit, but then Mark, he's like shakes your
hello.
hand.
Celine, lovely to meet you.
Okay, Darius kind of pats him on the shoulder and says, "This will freak you out on all levels. Remember, just need to look up, in and out, few minutes. Tell me what you see, okay? I'll be right there with you the entire time." Like takes a deep breath and says, listen, if this will make you stop crying, man, sure.
Darius, are you crying?
Looks at you, kind of giving you that look. Where, remember when he told you to disregard whatever the strange man says?
Yeah. She has a raised eyebrow, but she's not gonna push too much. Yeah. Well then, Mark, is it? If things get bad, you can always hold my hand.
Sure, thank you.
Scary things are best when you're not alone.
Oh, they are all as terrifying as you. I think I can manage.
Oh, thank you, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. As yeah, you walk into Inferno. It's like he has a moment where like he eases up as there is sort of his hand. Okay. Just look up. Not focus on anyone else. As Mark takes a couple of steps through the front entrance, the security kind of just look at you and kind of give you a nod, Celine, as you pass through with them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, Zoe is up in her usual spot. As you can see, like the man just sort of gives like a quick succession of nods as there is like yanks him back out. Like this entire thing lasts a couple of minutes. Now, the thing is, Celine.
Hmm?
You can mislead an NPC. Security guards might be dumb, but Leon isn't. So
Ooh. Okay. Do I have any debts with Leon? I don't think I do. Oh, dear heavens. Okay.
holy shit, meant to be. Yeah, Leon kind of looks at it and says, "Hey, Celine, I didn't realize you were coming today."
Ah, I'm going to be honest, Leon. I think I'm a bit bored. I think all this excitement of the last few months has made it so the mundanity of my life has got a bit dull.
He like chuckles a bit.
Mhm.
Like, this is the most arrogant thing you've said to me in the last several months. Get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Like, turns around, walks away. Pissed off.
Love seeing you too, Leon.
As
She will
yeah,
pick her.
you walk back out as the man is breathing heavily, completely drenched in sweat. As he's like, what the fuck was that place? I've never seen so many monsters. Holy shit, I think I'm gonna be sick. As he like goes to like a couple of bushes and starts barfing.
Yeah. Leon will give him a bottle of water when he's done.
Yeah. Eventually, after he sort of recomposes himself, um, don't know if this is good news or bad news, considering the kind of company she keeps. I saw it's like almost like a black, completely pitch black spot. Like there was nothing but the void. And all I could hear something coming from that void. It was a like a giggling noise, but like like it's a little girl, right? But the giggle didn't last. Turned into a crying sound at some point. It's a very weird experience. Darius kind of nods. Thanks, Mark. And he just kind of like gives him a very sympathetic look before patting him on the shoulder. Looks towards you, Sally, and says, thanks for this. I've seen you around. I'm not sure if you're in town, but if you ever need my help with something, feel free to ask. Well, he owes you a debt, Celine. Could help him out with this one. And
Yeah.
take his leave.
Is that Darius who takes his leave, or was it that?
That's
I'm sorry.
Mark.
Was
That's
it
Mark.
Okay.
Darius kind of just sits down on the sidewalk, pulls out a cigarette.
Did you get what you wanted then?
Suspicions confirmed, I guess.
Mhm. Would you want to regale me with the suspicions?
Well, I wanted to, first of all, understand Mark's powers.
Pat.
I thought he had like seer-like abilities. See the future, divine things, sense order and from the chaos. But Rowan said a couple of things, and I think he just sees people as they are. And when I
I
say
see.
people, I mean literally everyone. From Demon Lord to average Joe on the street.
I see. And when you have him saw Zoe, what were you hoping for? Was it what you wanted?
Oh. Well, like I said, I always had my suspicions. But the thing he said about me, though, that's crying.
Darius, I know a lot. You've been through a lot, and I'll be honest, I'm a bit worried about you too. I understand you're trying to help people, but I worry that you're not helping yourself.
Nothing help myself.
Do you
I
want a hug?
would appreciate one.
Yeah, she's gonna hug this guy.
He's still doesn't want to talk to me.
I know.
Chatted with Matthias recently. I don't think he'll ever want to talk to me.
I say give him some space and time to heal. And if nothing else, I'll talk to him. Give him time to come to you on your own. A lot of things have changed for both of you. And he had time to really process them. Everything that happened. Not really. At the time, you were wallowing in your grief, and well, choices were made. Don't give up hope, Darius.
Won't. Yes, in a way, I am crying. Person I want to help out most is one that shut me out.
Like I said, healing takes time. It's not all something that happens all at once. And when you hurt someone, you have to give it, let it be on their court. He still considers you a father. I know that's for sure. Good or ill.
Yeah, just gonna smile sadly, looking in the distance. Does he like stand up? Well, I need to go. Just the road. Oh, now
Be
I've
careful then.
jumped into the volcano. Now I need to climb out. He's gonna thank you once again and take his leave. Gonna give you a phone call, Rowan.
Okay, Rowan will answer.
Oh. Still up for that drink?
I can make time.
Yeah, I need to apologize. Whenever you can.
I mean, the good thing about not being a faction leader trying to become one is I have free time unlike these losers.
Yeah, it's true. No impending city level disaster. dependent on you.
Fucking me and Leon, we got it right. We got it right. Being a mook's where it's at.
Yeah, you meet with Darius at his place. Not gonna like this, but I'm sorry I had to do it.
Did what?
I talked with Mark after our conversation 2 days ago. And, well, I asked his help. two things. One was to figure out more about his abilities. Two, I wanted to confirm something about Zoe. So I had to bring him to see her. Fair enough.
Let's start with the first thing. What are his abilities?
Remember that shimmer you said you faintly saw?
Yes. Yes.
Took me a while, but I pulled a couple of favors with the hunters. That's, you know, who sees that shimmer very briefly, and most people don't really pick up on it.
Who?
Barely awakened mortals who start seeing through glamour, or start realizing when glamour affects them, almost. You know how you told me you had this weird conversation with him? I think you were
Yes.
hearing one thing, he was saying something completely else.
Just
I think you
putting
were
me under
glamored.
Oh, that's weird. It felt unpleasant.
Well, glamour always
Oh, yeah.
keeps things sort of in a haze. Keeps things hidden. Nobody really knows why or how it works or why it stops working sometimes. I've never
How
heard of
does-
anything like this before.
How does that connect with his abilities to see people? That feels like it's a separate thing.
What do you think would happen if you went to a normal mortal and you would explain to him how you look, what the demon is, anything about our world?
I'd imagine they'd think you're crazy.
No, they would hear. Maybe they would think you're crazy. Maybe they would just say you're an insane person. But what if that person is a loved one that trusts you completely? What if there's someone who wouldn't think you're crazy? Glamour doesn't work on a sensory basis. Much more potent than that. There have been experiments where people have tried to try and communicate. There were like some fucked up experiments where certain hunter organizations tried to forcibly awaken people, and it always backfired because the people would hear something else. They would see something else. You would say a word and they would hear something other. You would write something on the paper and they would read something else. Try and model it, and it would not. And I think that's what happened to you and him in that conversation. Now, I don't know why. I don't know how is that even possible. That's like my best working theory.
Well, definitely wasn't something he was doing intentionally.
No.
Put him off, in fact. Put him quite off, in fact, when I told him he was not communicating to me what he was saying.
Mark is also a rather paranoid individual. I think right now he should trust what he sees instead of doubting it.
Yes. He is a recovering individual who is a still rather fragile tenuous hold on his mental health. Which, let's move on to the second part. Why did you bring him into the Inferno Club?
I needed to confirm, like I said, one, his abilities, He's not a seer. Whatever power he has, it's not like doesn't just see you for what you are. He sees you for who you are. And it's all a jumbled mess. But if he can own that ability, I don't. This is. He needs to understand the danger he is gonna be in, and he needs to be able to protect himself in the future. Because if you think people wanted to kill him before he could see through illusions and shape changes, this man has the potential of just seeing through any lie, any deception, anything. You can imagine what kind of a world-shattering thing that would be.
I can imagine it. Yeah.
I think he needs to know this and understand this. And I thought that the best person to test this on is the person who hides their things the best I've ever seen. Person who has taken all her trauma and internalized it so well and hid it so fucking deep that I don't think she is even aware of it. That's why I had to take him to see Zoe.
So yeah, Rowan will say, I don't think she's totally unaware. Remember the first that happened right after that whole business with Malcolm? She was crying. Just crying into my arms. And then she turned it off. Turned off seemingly everything. Pushed me away.
Like, he nods. I suppose that's true, but it's been a challenge to get through to her. Maybe completely open with you and Celine, but he is very tough nut to crack. I have to rely on a bit more underhanded methods for that.
I understand, I suppose. How did Mark take it, by the way?
He was only in there for a few minutes, but I think he'll be fine. I'll make sure to check on him regularly.
It's good. Last time he saw Zoe was when Jay was first out, and that sent him spiraling pretty bad.
That's not exactly correct.
No?
I did talk with him about that day. I don't think it was Zoe that sent him spiraling.
I can imagine it was probably Jay. I can only imagine what I can only imagine what dragons look like when they're not being nice and looking like people.
I'm not gonna lie to myself. I don't think it's a dragon issue. I think it's remember, doesn't see you for what you are. Sees you for who you are.
I know, Darius. I know.
I can't help Zoran at the very least. I wanna make sure one of the kids I messed up with will recover. And honestly, I don't care. I don't care if he hates me. I don't care if he lashes at me. As long as he doesn't just shut me out, I think I'll be fine.
No one will nod at that. Took a while for Jay to warm up to me when we were in that realm that John had set up. As for Zoran, at this point, I think it's only time that can fix that. As painful as that's going to have to be.
That's something. Oh, never mind. Maybe you will probably kill me if I suggest this.
No. Speak. I say many things. I even mean most of them.
You mentioned what would happen if Mark would see a dragon.
Yes.
Well, we could take him to one that I know for a fact won't or shit about it.
Which one?
I've been talking a bit with John, and I learned slightly about his home plane of existence. And one of the people who mentored him. It's dragon. She goes by the name of Bendis. I'm curious if Mark looks at her, will he see a monster or what I suspect he might see instead? Because that will put the final nail in the coffin.
What do you think he'll see?
Something warm, kind, welcoming. Meanwhile, we will see a terrifying monster ready to tear us apart.
If you think it's worth the risk, we can talk to him.
Well, not right now, but I think once he
No.
has a bit of a break, I think Jim would.
Yeah. Rowan will nod. Just keep me informed. Keep me informed when you'll be doing this.
He like nods. Thanks for being so understanding.
Rowan's going to nod at that and smile.
I know he's been through a
I've
lot.
learned.
Sorry, go ahead.
I've learned a long time ago that making decisions based on anger and lashing out, that I don't think that ends up actually helping anyone in the long run.
He smiles
Oh,
and
wow.
nods.
But I will warn you, if this backfires and he slides back into how he was,
I'll take full responsibility.
good. I'm glad to hear that.
That nothing else you want to talk with him about?
Nope. I just I feel like I should get another medal on my chest now for helping you shoot another player character across the multiverse.
You are in fact the master sniper. Taking people out left and right. Back, you're always gonna be cooked. I have like 2 games I can like preemptively cook you in. Listen, the City of Mist one can also quickly turn into a pre-cooking. Don't tempt me. But yeah. Speaking of important moves and not letting anger prevail, Blake, your meeting with Abaddon is safely secured, as both you and Celine returned in Inferno. Talk with her about things. As welcomes you in. Friendly smile as per usual. Blake, Celine, it's been a while. Sometimes discussing city politics is a welcome break.
Happy to see you again, as always, Abaddon.
The pleasure is mine.
How can your voice be so quiet but your breath so loud?
You found it, the perfect middle ground. Unfortunately, it's the perfect middle ground of fucking shit.
Is this better?
Yeah, at least I can hear now.
I said the pleasure is mine.
There's well, so what is this meeting about?
I was hoping to talk with you and call in one of my favors. I am currently dealing with a person who thinks that they can come into the territory and cause me some difficulties. And I would like to show them the benefits of cooperation.
She says, is this the lethal kind of warning?
I would like to try to prefer to not cause lethal action, but you know how stubborn some of my kind can be, and they might need to be an example of what happens when you don't play ball.
This is a simple question. If you want lethal, and it's gonna be extra. If you want just a simple beating, that can be easy. You need to merely give me a time and a place, and I will send someone who can deal with that.
A simple beating should suffice. PTSD from the fucking Kraken. Like,
But
like,
I-
it- like when
Nah,
he
you
says it,
send
just
that when
wants
you
to-
want to kill people. Don't send her to beat people up.
No. But when she said to kill them, and then she says the extra, like Blake is gonna like Blake stare for like half a second, says, and then look back and say just to beat people up.
Ron, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Just to want to know, would it be better if Blake had a way to make it so it he gains that respect of the wolves if he somehow has a hand in beating this lady up, or will if someone else beats him up for, will that still work out in his favor? Basically, because he's
It
trying to add more
still
wolves.
works in his favor. It's like I can just call you like
Mm,
fucked up. Depends like if he, because I don't think Blake's trying to sell himself as the warrior type.
okay, gotcha.
He's trying to sell himself as the politician.
Okay, gotcha.
Now the thing is, just kill her, and then what are they gonna do about it? They're gonna most likely run away, or like completely submit to your authority, Blake. The trigger now.
Yeah, I want to try like Grunt. I'll be honest. My plan is to try to at least negotiate or talk down, and if that doesn't work, kill her. Just kill her. Get her to be out of the way. But I don't know what the best approach about that is because I feel like
Yeah, the thing is, if you put her up, like, yeah, she's gonna say, "Cool, I will, what you want," but then like, there's nothing stopping her from like just plotting against you, like beating someone
no.
up, then offering them an alliance is counterintuitive.
yeah.
Like,
So
if
I
you
guess
want to
the-
beat her up and then be like, "You're gonna what I say," or "I will finish the job," that can work better.
Yeah, that's what I'm plotting. So I think beating her up is the person I want.
That's gonna go against what Sophia wants, because Sophia thinks this is half measure. I'm just reminding you, had that conversation, and it seemed like you
Ye-
wanted to do what she wanted.
Yeah, I think I can square this circle. I think I can square this circle, Grunt.
Okay, up to you.
Because I think showing her as like a message to other wolves coming in saying, look what happens when you try to come into this town and look how quickly she
I get beaten up. Cool. Okay. It is not the boogeyman. You're being
Alright, right.
reprimanded. Sophia, that's the thing. Like Sophia, no, this could like definitely work from your perspective. Like if you're like, hey, you're not gonna work for me. Like she's gonna think twice about trying to fuck with you because hey, you can just call someone to beat her up. But Sophia will look at this and be like, I told you I wanted a boogeyman. I wanted fucking Iron Fist. I didn't want lukewarm police activity. So Sophia will not like this. That's
Sophia will,
I'm telling you this right now. This and you agreed to work with her, so this will be like just kind of backstabbing her. Unless I mean you're upfront, but like actually, Sophia, I've changed my mind. I will not help you out anymore.
yeah, that might also not look very. She might be also really pissed about that.
You just lose the favor.
Yeah, I might just be upfront with her on that.
She might decide she needs another boogeyman somewhere else.
Yeah, Grunt, let me after this scene, let me make my decision because I'm going to talk to Celine about something right after.
Sure.
If that's
Sure.
okay.
But yeah,
Because I can always kill her myself with my own hands. I don't need necessarily somebody to do
if you
that.
roll good enough, yeah.
If I roll good enough. But for now, just somebody to beat her up.
Yeah, I mean, Abaddon nods and says, "Time and a place, and it will happen."
I will get a meeting set up and give you the time and place.
Very well. You will have to use one of your favors for this, but
That's perfectly fine.
Well, if there's nothing else, I do have other business. Take care, you two.
Of course. Thank you for your time. I know how busy you are.
Take care.
Yeah. You two descend down the stairs as you go sort of near the dance floor.
Celine,
Yes?
first off, thank you for setting up this meeting. And second off, I would like to discuss something with you.
Of course. Do you wish to discuss it here, or?
Do you trust no prying ears here?
I trust this place fully.
Alright. Have a drink with me. Let's celebrate new partnerships here.
Very well.
You'll get a drink and sit down. Celine, what are your hopes for the city? I've never really asked, but it has me curious.
I'm gonna be honest, I never really thought that far out of the city. If it were up to me, less trouble, maybe a few more, a few less tense atmospheres. Coexistence, I guess, as simple as that.
It seems some of our goals are aligned. And I'll be the first to mention I am no great political mastermind. It's never been my forte, but neither has leading a pack. I'll be straight with you. I have no problem having a seat at the table in the city, but I have no mind to sit on a throne and lead a multi-species city.
It's understandable.
But in the short time I have been associated with you, I do see that you have connections with people across the board.
It's important to have allies and such. Many new things people have and much better skills that you wouldn't realize are important.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and I need you to be straight with me.
Very well.
Are you independent, or do you serve another?
I don't think I serve anyone. I care for my family.
Fair. I'm trying to build my own, and it's proving to be a little bit more difficult, but I can respect what you're trying to do.
What are you trying to get out of this here, Blake? What are you trying to ascertain?
I'm not very good at subterfuge. I would like to... Sophia is asked me to be her attack dog in the city in exchange for her assistance. That means she's about to start making moves and having me be that iron fist that tries to keep order. I think the city would be better served under somebody else than Sophia. But what do I know?
I see. You wish to usurp her and put someone who aligns to your ideals more in place.
I would rather see somebody more even-tempered like yourself. But I understand that I'm putting a lot of trust that you won't just go to Sophia and tell her. So I guess this is my way of saying I'm putting the ball in your court. If that is something that interests you.
I will not lie. It does interest me. And do not worry, Blake. I won't go to Sophia to rat you out. We're friends, aren't we? But what you want is quite a dangerous one at the very least, that requires a lot more maneuvering. not impossible.
I'm willing to stay close to Sophia while you make and turn my sheriff's eye from whatever you're trying to do. That does mean killing a potential ally, but I think you're a more beneficial one.
I appreciate the endorsement, but nothing else, Blake. And I understand.
I know this is a lot to think about, and I don't want to rush you into any decision, but I will admit that I'm in a little bit of a time crunch. So take a day or two, get back to me on what you decide to do, and I'll respect it either way. All I ask is that you don't tell anybody about our conversation.
I won't say a word.
Thank you for hearing me out, Celine. I appreciate it.
Of course. I do hope your situation with Evona, I believe, works out well, and the decisions you make, well, don't bite you in the ass later.
Oh, it most certainly will. But we will see. Hopefully I'll live long enough to see somebody else ascend to the throne.
I will be honest, if you understand that the decision would be so dangerous, why make it in the first place?
Because life can be needs a little bit of excitement. As far as I know, I only get one. And I might as well do something productive with it while I got it. Try to do some good to outweigh my bad. And then hopefully when my end comes, people will come and say, well, he at least did his best.
Very well. I will only say that you should think long and hard as well, Blake, about what you plan to do next. If you wish to be a leader of nothing else of the wolf pack, you must think on them, and what decisions you make will have consequences for those who you have under your care.
Of course, that's what I'm... Of course. Give
Sadly,
me a
this-
response. And like I said, give me a response in 2 days, and it will determine my decision going forward.
Celine nods. Give me a day. I have a response for you.
Alright. Hope to hear from you in 48 hours.
Very well.
With
Yeah.
that, Blake, you take your leave, Celine.
Oh, yeah, she probably gets up basically as well.
You wanna do now?
I think for Celine, shoot, she's really just gonna think about what she wants to do because there's not anyone else she can really talk to in regards to this.
I mean, you can
Maybe Rowan,
talk
but-
to
well-
Abaddon.
I know. I was gonna say I
Yeah,
could talk
she's
to Elena.
right there, Celine. Why not try her political machinations?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, Celine would probably go talk to Abaddon about this because we're in her territory. She probably heard everything if she was paying attention, of course.
After Blake leaves, you'll walk back up to her. She is like a smile.
Well, I hope you were entertained at the very least.
No, I would never dare to eavesdrop, but I do have a vague idea.
Yeah, that's true. I was a bit surprised.
To be honest, beating someone up, half a measure. Never gonna stick.
It is. I was trying to give him a chance to decide on his own, but it is a half measure that I don't think it's really worth the problems it will bring him if she is left alive.
Well, I mean, she might obey him out of fear, but other people? I don't know. So, if I were in a vampire position, I would see that. I would say, There is someone who doesn't want to kill.
I agree. And I will be honest, it'll put his pack in danger if that's the case. If nothing else, if the person he decides to let live decides to try again, but with a smarter plan.
Or a more powerful backer.
That as well. But that is his decision to make. I will try to do my best to tell him otherwise, but ultimately it's his to do with.
What's Sophia doing nowadays?
Huh? She's trying to consolidate power, dealing with newcomers coming and going and being very upset with it. She seems to trying to ensure that those who are at the table she's making are people that have influence or control that she can exert.
Are you interested in a position at that table?
I will not lie. I am, if nothing else, for the benefits it can bring and the safety it would ensure.
Well then, why not take it? You can have Sophia manage the more knightly aspects, and you can have the Blake, the kind werewolf. People, maybe they like have like grab hands and like sing together. They go out on like fun activities in the wilds. I mean, they play football. Maybe
I will be
I should have
honest.
suggested to him have like have competitions to settle the who's the top dog instead of like fighting. A nice game of football, tennis maybe. Why even like fight? That sounds so violent, so last age.
If nothing else, Blake has given me a new idea I wasn't really thinking of. Not to say it was impossible, but
What idea is that?
he has offered to back me if I wish to take the city for myself, and instead of having Sophia in its place.
Why not both? Why not both him and Sophia backing you?
That's what I am thinking on.
Last I
I
checked, the hunters are friendly with you as well, and that right there is the perfect trifecta, if you ask me.
true. But I wanted to ask you, will this help you?
I have a soft spot for that place. So if it prospers, I would be quite happy about it. But I'm more concerned with your own personal happiness. I want you to do the things you find enjoyable. Don't want you to be bogged down with endless political machinations. Why maybe having a couple of people capable underneath you that, well, all vouch for you. They don't like each other, so they don't scheme against you. That's a perfect combination.
That is true. And nothing else. And I'll be honest, I would like to see myself sit at the table. And I'd like to keep it behind its place as well. I was undecided if I was, after things were done with Jay, whether I would stay in the city or, I'm not sure. Go on a vacation, maybe? Take my leave? Maybe leave you and Zorn or the others something to keep an eye on?
She does look a bit sad when you say that.
No, no. Like I said, I was undecided. I've gained so much. And I've always wanted to go on a honeymoon at once, but I honestly think this is more fun.
Sure, you've noticed, but your husband, John, is busy.
Yes, he is.
But maybe after my Helsing off the map. Honeymoon.
I think so too, as well. I know that there's a lot of things that must be done, so I'm not complaining in that part. And like I said, running a city and making sure not too much trouble happens, I think will keep me busy enough as it is. Why not?
Smiles and nods.
Thank
Now-
you for this, Zoe. This helped a lot.
I have another side question. Just curiosity of mine.
Mhm.
How are you and Darius doing?
I think well enough. He seems, well, he's shouldering a lot, and I'm trying to give him time to talk to me on his own terms, basically.
You haven't been getting chummier lately, have you?
Not that aware of. Did something happen? Have some concerns?
Right. See things, questions.
What? Can I insight her? I feel like there's something else I'm missing here.
I mean, you can only get the truth.
What the hell is get the truth at? Do you mean figure
Get
someone
the
else?
truth. Get the truth. What game are we playing here?
Yeah, you mean figure someone else, bro?
I don't know,
Okay.
man. There's so many moves. Uh,
Yeah, I got a partial success.
yeah. I mean, you can ask me the question.
Yeah. Okay. What is she worrying that's going to happen right now?
He is worrying that sparring with Darius behind her back.
Ah. Let's see. I guess how is there any way that Celine can reassure or anything that will make it so she feels? Does it start to think that in those terms?
Honestly, I think if you sort of flat out told her, hey, actually, I mean, I know I can see you're worried, but I would never do anything behind your back
Yeah, I
to
got
harm
you.
you.
That's yeah. Celine would, if she allows, of course, take a seat next to her. It's just like and looks at her really. Zoe, you know I would never do something to put you in harm's way or try to conspire against you. You know that, right?
No, I know, I just
You are my precious daughter, and I'm not gonna. If you anything that you want, I'll try my best to get it. I want to make sure you're happy and safe as best I can, and not gonna. If nothing else, some light teasing from me at best, but you are my family, Zoe. Don't forget that.
she just like smiles and just all concern has washed away. It's gone.
Yeah, Celine's gonna hug her.
I'll hug you back.
Now I want to ask how things are going between you and Darius. Last time I checked, there was a knife and a board that you had in your room, so.
Well, funny you should mention that.
Mm-hmm.
He reached out to me.
Oh.
That's something so weird. But I want to see where this goes.
Are you willing to share what he said that was so weird?
He says has peered inside my soul, past the blackness within. and is ready to show me his true face.
That
It's very
seems
cryptic, but it's
go ahead.
I had. What can you even reply? Such a statement.
Gonna be honest, it sounds very romantically inclined.
I want to see what this is. It's such a statement. I can't take it seriously, but I want to see where it goes. At the very least, it sounds ridiculous.
It does. It does have a bit ridiculous spin, but
I
well,
There have been very few moments in my life where I heard something so stupid that I just had no response.
gotta be honest, I'm a little.
I swear to God, if he brings chocolate, as much as I love you, Celine, I will kill him.
Of course, of course. I feel like Darius knows you a little bit better than that, though. So
I don't know. I feel like he's skating on thin ice. And I'm just this close to just ending it. You know what? Maybe it's worth you getting upset at me for a few centuries for eternal peace from him.
there is a smile on Celine's face as she looks at Zoe, but she's just like, "Well, I would hope this will be interesting thing he shows you." Darius has seen some strange things, and I can only assume it's going to be a wild one.
This better have a very funny punchline.
Well, I'll wait with bated breath if you let me know how it goes.
I will. Either that or you never hear from him again, so then you'll know how it went.
Very well, then. I will leave you to your dark music then, Zoe.
Oh, don't you start as well.
No problem. She will get up and take her leave.
Calling me out on my. Yeah, as we'll take your leave. As well, things are in motion right now. Celine, what is your plan though? Are you gonna follow then the suggestion that Blake gave? In regards, like, you know what, I'm gonna take charge.
Yeah, I think Celine right now is actually wants to take charge, but going about it by immediately going gun ho, I'm not sure is gonna be the best option for
This
her
will
because she
take
needs to,
time.
you know.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
something that's gonna happen instantly, but I need to know because basically, if you set up, have to talk at this point
Mm.
so you have Blake on your side, and like the beating will happen. John will be deployed. The cane will fall from the sky and bonk her on the head. The only question is, how are you gonna sell this to Sophia, who's the other major power player in the city? The hunters, Horvat likes you. Horvat would be more than fine with you being put in charge of the supernatural bullshit. It's like, this is the most reliable fucking demon. I love this.
Gotcha. I guess my question, I don't know if he matters at all. I'm not gonna just dismiss Andre at all, but would having the power of this wizard and well, Darius is a non-factor in the sense that he doesn't really have a political reputation, but would having more allies in the sense of Andre and someone else backing her up, or
yes,
just
Andre on his own, which is impressive enough, but Andre on his own has the same amount of clout right now that the Summer Fae have.
Okay, then
Like,
yeah, I think
you could, if you swing Andre as well, which is doable because He is a very pragmatic individual, and unlike the Fae, he is quite reliable.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's gonna be Celine's plan before presenting this to Sophia. Just try to spin it as like with her allies connection, at least knowing who she can count on if when she talks to Sophia and brings this up.
Are you gonna try and bring anyone else other than Andre, Horvath, and Blake?
Who else is there? Because I don't think she can go to the Fae necessarily because of how.
I was gonna say,
well,
like, there's
yeah.
the Fae. They're like another major power faction, and then there's like smaller individuals you could start trying to gather as well if you want to have literally everyone. If you want to do the Mass Effect 110% completion rate for the army.
But raise the war readiness before you click the big red button.
Because there's people like Andrea, and there might be like other
Yeah.
individuals around town who are could be, but they don't have like political influence, but they're just like muscle, right?
Yeah, I think would be worth. Like I said, she's not going to try to get everyone because I think that will take way too long in the sense.
Yeah.
But I think having Andrea and Andre, and then probably that's the only ones that she knows offhand, and just presenting herself to Sophia after that fact. That's all right.
Yeah, then you know what? I think you can have the meeting with Andrea is gonna take the least amount of time.
Mhm.
We can have that as one last thing to cover here.
That's fine.
As she, like Rowan, has so much free time. Meeting with her is no real problem. As you walk into her place of business, she welcomes you with a smile and a drink. Well, if it's not the Queen of Darkness herself.
I don't see myself as a queen. I appreciate. I hopefully, well, it is a compliment.
Well, there's certainly a lot of people going around dancing to your whims recently around here.
I don't think it's dancing to my whims. It's making connections, as we all do.
Put the fear of God into that Raphael guy. Well, I hear rumors about you and the hunters going about. Not sure how real those are, but knowing you, probably are. Carmilla is no longer around, nor are her lackeys. Even certain more shifty, secretive vampires have bounced out of town. And everywhere I hear it's either someone close to you or someone talking about you or someone talking about someone talking about you.
Well, like I said, connections are important. And I'm trying to, well, be an open mind in all things in that. And I was hoping, if that would be possible, if we could have a connection, Andrea.
Really planning for something bigger, aren't you?
I'm trying to, at the very least.
No, fine. I'm in.
Selena has a smile on her face. She's like, I appreciate that.
I just need one thing from you.
What could that be?
Tell that Darius fellow to stay the fuck away.
Oh, does he give you the heebie-jeebies?
He does. Does. Very much so. If I could not see him ever again in my life, I would be quite happy.
I will pass the messages along.
I don't know what kind of week. Last time I seen him, he was drowning in his own blood, and now he is something else. I don't need whatever his brand of weirdness around me. Keep me even more than the fucking Italian man.
Oh, does the Italian man cause the heebie-jeebies as well? In what way?
He tried to molest me.
He seems to do that often. I think he has a
Well-
taste for danger.
I bit 2 of his fingers off.
Oh. And did they grow back? Because last time I saw him, he had all his fingers.
He's apparently an accomplished sorcerer. The fucker told me if I let him touch me, he would more than gladly sacrifice his entire hand.
Sounds like what I
And-
expect from the mortal.
And then on the way out, made other suggestions about other members.
Bold, if nothing else.
I swear,
Also, I think he's
sometimes
insane.
men would stick their dicks into anything, even if it takes them.
Well,
But yes, your friend Darius, he creeped me out even more because at least I understand a fucking mage. He is a creature of instinct, and at least I understand. Weird guy going around like an evangelical preacher. That his eyes though. You know? Are you aware about him?
Hmm.
His
I'm
eyes
aware about
are
many
See, I have a thing, you know, when I stare at people,
hmm
I can make you freeze in your tracks. I'm sure you're familiar with that aspect.
of course.
I can also do other things. Many, many horrifying things. One. To sight alone. But I stared at Arius and it felt like I was staring at a fucking wall. That's a sort of sensation I've had not that often in my life, and I've lived long.
That is interesting.
He
Especially,
freaks me out, and I don't like people who I can't look in the eyes. Catch my meaning.
understandable. Especially since, well, you've brought down an angel and a dragon with your eyes alone.
So, you keep him away from me? And you have my unconditional support.
Very well. I will have it done.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Celine nods. Well, here's to a new partnership.
She will toast to that. As on that note,